What if I told you that after a certain point, every extra bit of money that you earn starts making you poorer? Poorer in spirit, poorer in health, and poorer in joy. Watch till the end of the video to understand the biggest mistake that keeps you trapped and unhappy. We all expect that our happiness will grow as our income grows. But although this is true to an extent, it is also an illusion. The illusion of more. Yes, we can't be happy without a decent amount of money. So we chase a number. But the number keeps shifting. And we think once we reach that number, we'll be happy. But the interesting thing is, at a certain point, the happiness starts to plateau. There's a threshold beyond which more money stops adding to happiness. Psychologists call this the satiation point. In fact, after a certain point, happiness starts to decrease because the money, work, and lifestyle increase pressure, status anxiety, and time poverty. This is when money starts buying misery. Here's what more money often buys after your needs are met. It buys longer commutes, bigger EMIs, more stressful jobs, and status anxiety. You're not buying time or peace, you're buying distractions. Ironically, the more you earn, the less time that you have to enjoy it. Before we look at the happiness threshold formula, please subscribe for more ideas on financial freedom, career growth, and happiness. Now, what is the proof that this is true? That happiness decreases after a certain point of wealth? The proof is in what people regret. Ask anyone who is nearing the top of the corporate ladder and earns an insane amount of money, and they'll admit that they sleep less, they exercise less, they barely see their kids, and they're always on at work. Diabetes, hypertension, burnout. These are not the results of poverty. These are the side effects of rich on paper and poor in peace. So how do you find your own happiness threshold? Here's a simple formula and framework. First, calculate your enough number. What does a joyful but simple life cost you monthly or annually? Rent, food, hobbies, savings, that's your baseline. Add a margin for joy. Add 20 to 30% extra for traveling, learning, and giving. And that's your happiness threshold. Anything you want to earn beyond that, question it deeply. Is it worth the stress? Or is it just a distraction in disguise? So what is the biggest mistake that keeps you unhappy and trapped? The real fallacy is this. We think that happiness is at the top of the ladder. Of course, happiness may not lie at the bottom of it either. But people seem to be happiest a few steps below the top. That's where they have time, health, relationships, and purpose. More is only better up to a point. Beyond that, it's a burden disguised as success. What if your richest life isn't at the peak, but at the plateau where joy lives? Hit subscribe, and if you want to know how I retired at 39, watch this video.